We rode bus 148 to Hyde Park Corner this morning so that we could walk to Buckingham Palace to observe the changing of the guard. Little did we know that this was one of the Queen's official birthday celebrations, and that we were going to see much more than the regular pomp and ceremony associated with that tradition.
关键是啥意思？
我要走私的。
After several bands and horse regiments passed by, we were able to see Camilla, Kate, and what appears to be Prince Harry in one carriage. And in the second carriage, Prince Philip and the Queen herself went by. We walked through St. James Park and caught the tube to Westminster Abbey. The original abbey dates from the year 960. Edward the Confessor began rebuilding the abbey in the year 1042 so that he could be buried here. His successor, Harold II, was probably crowned in the abbey, although the first documented coronation is that of William the Conqueror later the same year. All coronations have been held here since. Construction of the current church began in the year 1245 by Henry III. This lantern roof with radiating vaults displays the amazing architecture of this beautiful building. The church contains 3,000 tombs of kings, queens, poets, politicians, scientists, and warriors, including this, the tomb of Elizabeth I. Beginning with Chaucer, Poets' Corner contains the tombs and memorials to several British poets, playwrights, and authors. There is also a tomb to the unknown soldier, much like the one we have at Arlington Cemetery. Henry VII built this beautiful Lady Chapel in 1503. It is noted for the pendant fan ceiling and contains the tombs of Henry VII, Edward VI, Mary I, Elizabeth I, James I, Charles II, and Mary Queen of Scots. Isaac Newton is buried in the nave of the church and has this memorial near the site. The approach to the high altar is marked by the Cosmati pavement. This flooring was installed in 1268 by craftsmen brought in from Rome. King Edward's chair, the coronation throne, is now housed within the abbey in St. George's Chapel near the west door. It has been used at every coronation since 1308, from 1301 to 1996, except for a short time in 1950 when the stone was temporarily stolen by Scottish nationalists. The chair also housed the stone of Scone, upon which the kings of Scots are crowned. Although the stone is now kept in Scotland at Edinburgh Castle, it is intended that the stone will be returned for use during future coronations. This chapel received heavy damage during the Battle of Britain in 1940. It now memorializes the 1,497 RAF pilots and crew who were killed during that time. The Churchill War Rooms have two ports. One section has 27 rooms that have been left exactly as they were at the end of the war in 1945. Churchill directed British efforts during World War II from this fortified bunker hidden below the streets of London. An excellent audio guide gives the function of each room and gives insight into the daily lives of those who worked in this underground city. The second part of the War Rooms is a museum dedicated to telling the life of this fascinating individual who kept the British spirit alive during the very darkest moments of the war. His life story is quite interesting. Leaving the War Rooms, we strolled down Whitehall Street, past number 10 Downing Street. We even got a sampling of a British political protest. The palace in Whitehall was created by Henry VIII, but all that remains is the banqueting hall. This building survived a major fire in 1698 that destroyed the rest of Whitehall Palace. King James I built the hall in 1619, but his son Charles I decorated the building after James's death. The ceiling was designed by Rubens, but painted by his student Van Dyck. Charles I was beheaded in 1649 on a special scaffold built off the second-floor balcony. Our final event of the day was witnessing the changing of guards at the horse guard stables.